it's been an ongoing process, and I've tried to deny parts of it, and I've tried to deny, the entire process, and, fully understanding the growth that's inside of me. And it's just like, and now I have no other option but to accept what's going on. Hi. I got on a whole bunch of oversized clothes because I don't care about none of this weather. She outside today. So that's what I gotta deal with. And it's kind of crazy that, the timing of these times where, your body is adjusting and you already going through, something that's pretty much causing more emotions or heightened emotions, to be analyzed, and it's just really crazy. So I've been away from YouTube. I think you guys know that, obviously. But for a while, I've tried to come back periodically for demand purposes, and not really like, my mental was actually okay. And these times it was just like, oh my, you haven't done a video, or oh my, like, where you been, or I missed that video and it was so funny, and oh my gosh, like, yeah. But like, I'm kind of at a point of like, I'm tired of like faking the smile. I'm tired of, in a sense, like acting as if, things are okay. And I'm not saying that they aren't. I'm just saying inside of me, a lot is going on. It's kind of crazy because like, it's been an ongoing process, and I've tried to deny parts of it, and I've tried to deny, the entire process, and, fully understanding the growth that's inside of me. And it's just like, and now I have no other option but to accept what's going on. And it's kind of tough because it's like, how do you, go through a thing without, proper support channels from what I would think support would be or should be. And you just gotta keep going through it. Now, I got to analyze it in this time when, life was happening, but also, emotions are at, top tier peak of the world, and it's like, bro, okay, so, oh shoot, I'm waiting on food, so that's the reminder that it should be on the way. But no, I was reminded of like me and my childhood, and to touch a quick story now. My parents got divorced when I was 6. He moved out of state when I was 10. I was raised the baby of a single mother, working 4 or 5 jobs at the time in order to provide for us, which she did an amazing job at. Providing for her 3 children to be able to go to all these blah blah. And, but there was an emotional side that was missing, that was, wasn't in the schedule of priorities, or wasn't, adequate time available left to tend to. So, it's something that I pretty much had to like learn my life, and I didn't have like a role model or like a emotional like inspo to you know, understand how to deal with certain things. So it's like, okay, you know, I began finding outlets that were positive, some that were negative, just to kind of cope with some things and to deal with some things. And I'm resting my toe, it hurts. But my socks match. You know what I'm saying? We never outside tripping. But nah, just been a bummy day. But nah, just finding like different outlets and things to kind of keep me grounded and keep me either busy or whatever the case, to the point where I didn't have to think about things, or I didn't have time to think about things, and you know, just keeping me like in a good headspace mentally and all that stuff, active stuff like that. Just good for your body and for your mind. And then like as life continued to happen, as you know, a lot of stuff began to change. Some of those outlets were, you know, put on pause. It's like, whoa, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even with this COVID thing, like, I'm not able to do the content that I would prefer to do, but also not being able to do content or physically be outside as you normally were can cause, you know, the mindset of like, I don't even want to do any content. Like, and then when life comes on top of like stuff that just happens, and then you gotta think about it again, it's like, whoa. So the gist of it was pretty much God like waking me up, like, bro, like, I've always had a thing with distance because, like I said, my father moved away when I was 10 years old. Started when I was 6, but he was still like 30 minutes away. I was like, okay, we could still see you, you know, every weekend or every other weekend or whatever the schedule was. I don't know. And then to the point you're moving away, I'm 10 years old. So imagine 10 years old, you're like in elementary school, like maybe like 5th, 6th, 4th grade, somewhere in that vicinity. Like, I think that's right, because like maybe, I don't know. But somewhere in that vicinity, you're a young child trying to figure out, you know, what is going on. Are you the cause of these things? Are you aiding and abetting in this behavior that, you know, is the situation in your life? Like, what's the purpose, or why is this happening, in a sense? Like, what am I doing? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? And as a child, it's kind of like, I don't even know how to do my own life. How am I trying to figure out what's going on beyond me? You know what I'm saying? So you continue to grow up. You just go through life. You think you're good, and you think, you know what I'm saying, everything peachy. And then you realize, like, bro, you're acting like this because of this situation that happened in your life. And like I said, like, I've seen relationships. I haven't seen I would say a positive, long-lasting example of what I think relationships should be. Which I can go into stories, but I don't want to go there right now. That's too much, too personal as of yet. But just, you know, seeing things growing up, and it's like, okay, well, like, what's the goal? What's the mark? What's the prime example of love? And it's like, as I grew more and learning and understanding who God is, it's like, bro, I'm right here. Like, if you just look at me, if you just tap into who I am. But again, those childhood scars that, you know, the devil meticulously tried to play, but God knew, you know, was going to shape better in the long run. It's like, I don't know how to do distance. And that is pretty much like seeped into a lot of areas in my life, like relationship-wise, friendship-wise. It's like, if we grow distance for whatever reason, it's like, it's hard for me to cope with that, or to stay engaged, or, you know, stay interested in those type of, you know, situations. Mainly because, like, when I was a kid, like I said, 10 years old, so from 10 till he passed when I was 19. So 9 years of, well, okay, I'm going to skip a few. But pretty much time where I wasn't able to do anything about missing my father. So, like, I would miss him, but I'm too young to drive. I'm too young to say I'm not going to school today. I'm going to see my dad. Like, I'm too young to, you know, have these authoritative decisions over, you know, the feelings and emotions that I had. So it's like I just gotta sit there with them, or I can ignore them, or I can just, you know, brush them under the rug, go hoop, you know, get all this praise and admiration around this sport, get all this attention around this sport, because, you know what I'm saying, that's what I was known for. And, you know, that was a pivotal part of my life, and, you know, my entire life that switched into career. Like, that's a whole nother story. But anywho, just, you know, searching for this love and attention that I feel like, you know, a father is due to their children, especially their daughter, in a world where a lot of male don't have proper, so it's some fake love, you know, respectfully. So to know that from her father was like, this is the perfect example to see what's up. And God was like, bro, okay, so it didn't happen. Like, what you gonna do now? Like, respect. Like, God talked to me like how I need to be talked to. Like, the mushy gushy, like, it don't work for me long term. Like, I need the real, blunt, direct. It's this, it's that, it's slow, move on. Like, I need that. And God is so, you know what I'm saying, so personable with me, because it's like, He knows exactly what I need, exactly what I'm thinking, exactly what I'm trying to say beforehand, because, you know what I'm saying, He already wrote the story. I just, you know, living it. And I got out of autopilot, I would probably say like February, if not before. February was when I immediately noticed it. And I just wasn't like in tune with myself. I was kind of like so numb and so oblivious to like trying to understand or feel anything. I just was like living day to day, but fighting everything that was right. Like legit MMA McGregor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fighting because I don't know that answer yet. I know the process, and any process as a whole, is like uncomfortable for me. I know that I don't like waiting. I don't like not knowing what the end result is. I don't know if I really enjoy not winning or not completing tasks. And I know that's good for like corporate America and like business and like entrepreneur and success and sports and health and all that stuff. But like in real life, where like you're not always in control, it's like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do? You know? So it's like, yeah, I got pork chop, I'm sorry. But it's just like, it's tough because it's like OCD, alpha personality, you know what I'm saying, chill but strategic but futuristic, you know, all that other stuff that you mix in is just pretty much like, bro, it's a problem and it's a solution, and then it's over with. You move on to the next question, like, and like phases is like, bro, I can't finish my homework, or I can't extend a response, like it may or may, you know what I'm saying, like that stuff that just doesn't sit well with me. Realistically, I'm being honest with y'all, like in terms of like emotional or things that are dear to my heart, it's like those type of things seem like a bomb to my head. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like I could say like it seems like, you know, hurtful, or it seems like, but it don't make sense to me. Like, why do I have to, you know what I'm saying, like for what? Like if it doesn't have a valid excuse that I could see, I don't understand like why am I waiting for certain things, or with certain, like, say I'm talking to somebody and they say, oh, wait for you, wait for what? You know, like if it's, my motto is, if you want it to happen to you, it's gonna happen. If you don't want it to happen, you're just talking about it. Like, quit talking about it, because you're just wasting your breath. Because you really don't want it to happen. Because if you did, you would have did it. Like, that's my motto. But like, you know, everybody ain't me, and I am unreceptive to my own advice at certain times. But it's just like, bro, what we waiting for? You know, that's it. So I tie that into like distance, and like how it pretty much was hard for me to like, you know, cope with my emotions and cope with, you know, how I was feeling, or, you know, giving control or just being okay not having control. It's just like, it's tough. And it's not like I'm not OD like crazy controlling. Like, I can get crazy if I really, really care about you, but not like crazy like slicing and dicing. Like, I don't, if you give me that point, I'm like, I'm not going to be involved because like you're really breaking my peace, like, bro. But like crazy to the point where like, you know, affectionate, like all that look, like that type of like, bro, don't play with me, like I really care about you type crazy, like this ain't that. And in those moments, it's like, since I didn't have the ideal version of love, you know, you see movies here and there, you see, you know, certain relationships where you see traits where it's like, oh, that would be nice, or that would be, and you fantasize in a non-erotic way about like that, whatever that is, like, oh, I want my partner to be this, or I want my, and it's just like, okay, cool, but like, what's really real, like, and I got to talking to like people that are, you know, older and longer relationships, and they explain stuff, and I got talking to people who are, you know, in relationships where on social media and to the world it seems great, you know, and reality is like a whole different story. Or you see people who are, you know, going through phases and, you know, still presenting this ideal picture that to the outside world, you know, seems perfect, but to the inside world it's like, oh, they really going through something. And then you can see why they were reaching out for help so much to the outside world. So as I you know, impart all this knowledge about everything that, you know, is connected to relationships and all the work that it requires, it's like, I just realized how much work I need to do within myself. Because like, at a certain point, if it's too crazy, I'm like, bro, like, if the feelings are disrespected, or if it's like crazy to the point where like we dealing with the same problem, we can't get past it, like, bro, I'm cool, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me, because I'm like, I'm used to being so concerned about my own emotional, you know, standpoint. I don't really invite caring for others if they don't want to work as well to care for their own emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, I would rather run, or I'm used to, you know, running from certain situations, because I've never seen or experienced dealing with some things until probably like 2018, truthfully. My father passed away in 2015, so I was numb for like a year and a half. Found God, found the truth. Been raised in the church, around the church, but found the truth. And really was hearing it, but was like, oh, this is experience, but really wasn't like fully devoted, because I was still, you know what I'm saying, outside chilling. And at the time I was already emotional, so I was looking for that like comfort in a sense. I was looking for that attention in a sense, because like I felt so like lost in like, you know, what was normal, like, you know, mother, father, family, you know, that's what I knew. Like, I knew, if anything, okay, I knew my mom, I knew my dad, I knew, you know, my siblings, things of that nature. Like, you feel me, I knew where I'm from, you know, I knew certain things of that nature, like, you just know. Like, but then you, like, take away what you know from age 0 to, and it's like, bro, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, you learning more about your faith, you learning more about yourself and your creator, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot. So, like, going through, you know, relationship situations and emotions and all that stuff is like, it just is taxing on me, and I really like kept running from them. So say one thing would end, I would run back to a familiar feeling to compensate for the in-between time till the next thing would begin, and then I would run back to that familiar feeling, but then I would just begin cycling the familiars, like my top 3 favorite familiars, I just can't cycle in them, and it's like, okay, like, but what are you accomplishing? Because like, you know what you're dealing with and it's comfortable, but like, you're not going nowhere. Like, so what are you doing? Like, you just okay with this pain, like, you know that you can get through the pain, so you're just gonna continue to feel it. Like, your hand dang near burnt off now. Like, and then God gave me this other example of like, okay, say my leg right now. Like, say I just took some duct tape, just smacked them on here on some, like, you feel me, on some shaving challenge type vibe, and just phew, and my skin just peeled off, and you just see hot lava just dripping. You know what I'm saying? Say that's a thing, right? So that's the initial pain that, you know, maybe could have been avoided, you know what I'm saying? But We try to use our own devices. Okay, God. We try to use our own devices to get the job done. Okay? So now that we got this, you know, this pain, we got to deal with this. We got to treat this, you know what I'm saying? Because this is prime priority for the healing of this body. Okay, God. So that's the first, you know what I'm saying? That's where your mind begins to focus on this pain, right? Trying to heal this pain, right? So as you see this pain that may or may, you know, of been supposed to happen. Now that this pain is present, that's your focus. Okay, you're tender with it. You're very gentle with it. You're very cautious of what interacts with this pain, right? So then your pain begins to heal because you're beginning to nurture this pain. You're beginning to, you know, take the proper self-care tips to attend to this, you know, this pain, this newfound rough and tough, deep scar that you have now. So now it's beginning to heal. And you know when it gets bubbly, like, you know what I'm saying? It's healing, but like right underneath it's like that white meat that's still there. So right, you know, you got the little bumpity bump, like the little bump and bruise. Y'all ever broke your knees or something? Like, it's there. Like it's healing, but like if you a picker, like it's at that picky stage where like everything is pickable. Prime time. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you take that same duct tape. Okay, maybe a new one because that's like bloody and dirty. But like you take some duct tape, right? And you just peel all the bubbles off. So now you got like fresh hurt, reopening of wounds. So like for me to make this make sense, it's like I would continually go back to these three familiar people to the point where they begin to pick up on my nonsense. And a couple of them were on some nonsense too. So it's like we was all just, you know, kicks and giggles, bumps and bruises, duct tape, you know, ouch. So, it began to like, so you peel off the bubbles, you know what I'm saying? So now you got that little white, red outline, like saran wrap, mac and cheese looking, like just, it's there, and it's still like, ouch, but it's like, there's no Bloody Mary, hot lava situation anymore. So you feel okay, like, okay, it's not as bad. Like, I know it has a potential to heal, but like, I haven't seen its full potential, and now I continue to agitate this. I'm creating tough skin. Okay? So an area that may or may not have needed to be damaged is now damaged. I'm continuing to pick with this. I'm continuing to, you know, mess with this area, using my own devices on my own time frame of how I think I should be healed. I've jumped into something that has ended up scarring me again. But I'm here with the saran wrap mac and cheese leg. Now I'm going to have a scar because I double picketed. And so now there's going to be a scar present. Now there's going to be, you know, blemishes and pieces of you that will never look the same because of what you went through. That's obvious to everybody. But like, this didn't have to happen. So now I'm healing from whatever I was already healing with. My body was already going through its normal processes at age, whatever the case. And now I have to tend to another situation on top of already going through emotional situations. So this became my life. Like, I was just okay with like the great stages of a ticking time bomb. And that's really what, like, I knew it was never going to end up how I wanted it to end up. The way things were and the way that we went about things as two people, because it takes two people to do these type of things, right? So if one person is invested and the other person is not invested, at the same time on the same page with the same, you know, goal in mind, it don't matter if I'm feeling this and you feel like it was never it was never a balance. It was never a balance, like, or it was never fully communicated, or it never fully showed, or showed at all. You know, for both parties to feel the same way at the same time. So it didn't work, but I knew that. But I just continued to, you know, I enjoyed. It's gonna sound crazy, but I told you I'm gonna be honest. I kind of enjoy pain. Like, tattoos were kind of enjoyable. Like, I kind of enjoy, because, okay, so I don't know if you ever got your hurt ouch a little bit. Something, rejection, you know, didn't get what you wanted, then, you know, get them shoot. Something that just ouch. You know, it don't matter the degree of difficulty, but it hurt a little bit. Do you know how much, like, for a strategic task-oriented type person, do you know how much fuel that is to, like, turn up on you? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how much fuel that is to, like, get in your bag heavy and flex for whatever. Like, you ain't gotta flex on nobody. You just flex it in your mind, like, bro, you good, like, you straight, like, you feel me? But I never, like, dealt with them emotions. That's all I knew, because, remind you, I was dealing with a single mother who I saw go through the divorce and, you know what I'm saying, dealing with that, but also, you know, having to continue on for the sake of these 3 kids that you got created. You know, so I see them get into the bag to chase the money and to make it make sense to where it makes sense fully. But then it's like, am I okay? And I didn't know. So, my food's good.